All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Another Komodo Pioneers podcast. Di Giuliano. Today with John Westbrook
Yes, John.
of Utrum,
Yes.
the famous DICO Utrum. I'm looking forward the pre-sale beginning May 10th, but we can talk about those types of details a little bit later. We just want to know about, first of all, thank you and welcome. I appreciate you taking the time to sit.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We have Utrum coming out. We would like to know a little bit, first of all, what is the problem that Utrum is looking at, and a general overview of what's the solution that Utrum is putting forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the problem is one that I ran into before I even knew of this project. Obviously, it was a couple years ago when I first got into cryptocurrency, and it was really just the noise in crypto investing is the easiest way to put it. There's so much chaos, and you try to find people who you think might be experts and ask them, what should I be investing in? What's the next big project? What's the next big thing? And everybody's saying something different. And usually when you dig a little deeper, it's all, there's an ulterior motive behind it. So what ends up happening is most people, especially newbies to cryptocurrency investing, are really just left to their own devices. And, if you're not tuned in at a higher level of really understanding what's going on with the industry, with the different coins, with the projects, and even investing in general, then it becomes a really dangerous situation for that investor or that person who wants to be investing in cryptocurrency. They're just easily, led astray, and that's kind of exacerbated. That problem is exacerbated by the FOMO.
There's so much. You just made me realize how much is going on within this space, and so I could see where you're coming from. Please continue.
Oh yeah, it's overrun. I spoke with a project, or it wasn't a project. It was a kind of an incubator, I guess, for doing ICOs. Recently, I forget the name of the company, and I probably wouldn't mention it anyway. But they said that and I don't know if these numbers are accurate, but they said they were pushing out an ICO every 2 weeks, and they were trying to crank it up to one every week for like white papers, marketing, everything for these different ICOs. So, there's so many companies just trying to jump on the bandwagon of the ICO train, and not to mix too many metaphors, but there's really so many companies that are just like, they see the money and they want a piece of pie, and it's all vaporware. It's a lot of it's just vaporware or straight up scams. And I think we all saw what happened this month in April with the two ICOs. I think it was two that Vietnam is now, or that the Vietnam government, I guess, is now investigating for $660 million, I think, in fraudulent funds taken.
Wow.
So it's relevant right now. It's still happening. My Ether wallet their DNS was hacked recently, so that's another problem, not the problem we're trying to solve, but it's just the idea of there's scams and there's nefarious actors constantly hitting this space.
Yeah, there really is a lot going on, and there's a lot to pay attention to, and so you're looking at a solution to all of this, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, what we're creating is what we refer to as a crowd wisdom based solution that incorporates artificial intelligence, like a learning machine, to help look at the numbers and make sure that the system's not being gamed. And then there's also a team of trustees who act as moderators, especially at the beginning, when things are new and that machine learning is still taking place with the AI. It's still having to gain a lot of data. So that data is happening automatically through the system, and it's also being done through the trustees and help the trustees of the system.
The data that you're talking about, is that what's contributing to this trust factor algorithm that's coming into play?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, the trust factor algorithm is it's really the system of the data that's coming from the voting system of the members in Utrum. So, for example, a crypto project comes up for votes, and the community casts their vote, but it's a blind vote, so you're not seeing them coming in real time. It's not like Instagram likes, where you see a photo getting a lot of likes, and then you're influenced by that to like that photo. So influence is taken out of it, social influence and pressure is taken out of it. So people are really voting on conscience and knowledge. And then after a period of time, when that voting system is closed, the results are shown. And the AI kicks in looking at that data, and it looks for deviations out of the mean. So you have, a certain amount of votes that are heading in a certain trajectory. And if there's a big spike in one way or the other, it's able to detect those deviations and look for things like, like what might be seen in the market as a pump and dump, where people are just coming in and they're all told on a Twitter channel, hey, go, or a Slack channel, go and vote up on this project because it's our project. We want a lot of good votes. So just go pump votes into this and we'll give you some tokens. Mm-hmm. So that kind of activity is going to be diminished based on the AI. That's really what that's in place for, is kind of the gatekeeper to gaining the system.
Very interesting. And so there are people who are potentially watching this video, and they are either looking to participate in the ICO or these are not mutually exclusive, but may participate into the platform as well. What does participating in the platform look like? And then we can get into participating in the ICO, DICO, whatever we want to call it. What does that look like for the average Joe or Jane?
Cool. So yeah, we're going to be participating as members, and they're going to be going in and writing reviews of different projects. It could be a project that has already come out. It doesn't have to be necessarily an upcoming ICO. It could be a particular asset, like a crypto asset that's been around for a week or two or longer. So they can write reviews on products like that and different services or different crypto-based solutions. They can also participate in voting, and that's more so that blind vote system, where something comes up for vote and people are casting their vote. They're putting their ratings in for the system. Mm-hmm. And then there's also analysis. They can provide predictions and market analysis of different projects. Mm-hmm. So whatever level somebody's participating on that they feel like they're geared toward, they're going to, and I forgot to mention this under trust factor algorithm also, they're not only going to be earning rewards, which we'll probably get to later talking about, but they're also going to be, their reputation in the system is also being developed, and they're getting a score, a trust factor that's being applied to them based on how they're voting, how they're interacting with the community, and how they're contributing. So that score, that number, continues to develop over time, and really just helps them to have kind of this reputation within the system that's either really positive and really good, or it's going to be cut into based on, again, like nefarious acts or things that are just kind of trying to game it.
Right. Wow, that's very nice. That sounds like sounds like something that would be very helpful for this space. Is a well-established group community that allows anybody to come in and bring, and like you said, analysis or reviews or who knows. I guess that's the beauty of it, is that the creativity that could occur from this is perhaps even beyond what is initially considered.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's, that's a big part of the philosophy that Utrum has is, we're not a company that's saying we're going to fix this and it's our fix, it's our product. This is more, we're creating a platform and a community for people to be able to participate in fixing the problem together. That's partly why Sri, the CEO, is not the CEO. He's the team lead. From the smallest details up, we're really focused on, this is a project. This is about a community project. This is about being decentralized and working together to solve a real problem that we're all up against, and a lot of us have suffered from. A lot of lost funds to some of these shady or just confusing parts of the market. People run around from Twitter channel to Facebook, to program groups, to Slack groups, looking for answers, and everybody's saying something else, and who to listen to. Um,
there's so much to know and learn and pay attention to. And uh, for me, it's an ongoing learning process. I still feel so fresh, and because it's more than about just knowing about Bitcoin or anything like that. I mean,
yeah,
in terms of that, I feel like I've been around for a long time, but in terms of being active and, just even just the way that things are going, just over the last, let's say, 2 years or so, it feels like the things are really starting to push forth. And mm, this is going to be something that we can use as participants in this big crypto community to wow, there's so many branches that this goes from. I mean, you went and talked, you mentioned about stuff like rewards and things like that. So we're able to create these types of economies that are mutually beneficial, and then we're also going down these other paths where mm, you you're able to. I don't even know where this goes.
mm,
It has that kind of potential. Um, I mean, just the fact of it being, let's say, a DICO on the Komodo platform, that in itself makes it a very special engagement. What's going on right now, and then when you go down that road of bringing everybody together and offering this space for people to combine and communicate with each other. I
yeah.
just see this as having a lot of upside to it in terms of
Oh, absolutely.
success plus potential.
Yeah, you really get it, brother. Like um, that's really the bottom line. That's what it comes back to. Is if you look at the crypto market at large, here we have this decentralized, incredible innovation of technology and of economy, and even far-reaching to government systems. That's growing at this rapid speed, and yet most exchanges are centralized. Um, most of what we do as a market or as an industry is coming from a very centralized place. ICOs even are centralized, and until Komodo started with the DICO, with the first one coming up here May 1st with Block Nation, like, and then ours on May 10th. Though these are like the reason why that's so important is it's breaking away from this centralized way of doing things that has sort of taken over cryptocurrency and blockchain in a really weird way. Even a lot of the projects that I've spoken with are very corporate. They're very centralized, and they're running from that kind of an angle. They're trying to really bring it into that corporate space again, and that centralized space. And that's not the heart of cryptocurrency. That's not the heart of blockchain. That's not what makes it so special. So that's one of the things that drew me to this project, to joining the team. I would say the other thing that drew me even more is the team themselves. And Sri particularly is an incredible guy. He's one of the most straightforward, honest, and direct, just great stand-up people that I've met. And he's the reason why ultimately, above everything else, he's the reason why I wanted to join this project and be a part of the building. Because I believe in him, and I believe in his vision for what we're doing. And he has this, and the reason why I believe in him so strongly is he has that perception of what we're doing as not being centralized. And his goal is to let's make this about the community. Let's draw from the crowd wisdom, and let's get the data out of that, and let's analyze it, and let's create a more secure, safe platform for people to play, to invest, to have fun in cryptocurrency, without losing their life savings because of some selfish person on the internet who led them astray. And it's so important for newbies, especially because people coming to this space are used to the corporate world. They're used to banks that protect you. They're used to their credit card company protecting them, and everybody's sort of just taking care of everything. They're not used to being their own security, their own security system. And so it's easy to trust people who put up a good front or put up a good website. And it's easy to fall for a lot of this, a
Hype
lot of
and everything. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
pseudo scams. So.
Wow. Okay. This is great. You went down one of the branches that I was thinking of earlier, and it's basically the centralized, decentralized spectrum, and you've clarified it better for me.
Cool.
So I'm glad you did that. Just to clear that up, on a scale of centralized to decentralized, Utrum fits towards the decentralized. It's got this trust factor algorithm. It tries to use machine learning and take a bit of hands off. The team involved can make decisions, but not decisions that would change what's happening with the platform and the things going on there, or how?
That's a really good question. So the team, our job is really to create the roadmap and to build the platform itself, to build in the coding, the software, the machine learning, to put it into use. That's our job. Beyond that, it's in the community's hands, and all the functionality that's taking place within the platform is all community based. It's all even the trustees are being voted in, which are essentially a trustee is a moderator. So a team of moderators is being voted in by the community, and it's all about community governance at that point. So at that point, it's really, we're here to facilitate the development, I guess is the best way to put it. Let's facilitate the development of a platform that is in all of our hands, and that we can all affect and put to good use, and put to use in helping each other, like I said, have a better experience, have good investing, and even beyond investing, just be able to find the projects that we want to support, that we want to get behind, or that we want to join. So like you said earlier, there's a lot more that can grow out of this than just reviewing projects and analyzing and doing market predictions. And we are, part of that is that we want to build in to the system is a marketplace, sort of marketplace setup where projects can sell services, people can buy services, et cetera, and there can be advertising.
Nice.
And what's cool about that is all the revenue that comes in through those sorts of interactions. Like say somebody project wants to buy some ad space, and they do that, and they pay in OOT tokens. Every month, 5% of the tokens that are coming in through any sort of revenue to the platform are given back to the users. And we do that through Utrum of the Month, which is one of our bounty programs. And so essentially, based on how many reviews a user has participated in, how frequently they're online in the platform participating, then they're kind of up for Utrum of the Month, and the top person wins. Once you've won Utrum of the Month, you don't win it again. You're not eligible for another year, so that everybody kind of has a chance to get in and be a part of that 5% bounty. So it's just an extra way of saying, this is not, this revenue is not about a team or a company. It's really about running a platform and making sure the platform can continue to be sustainable. And we're going to give back to the community at the same time, to all the members, to really not just say thank you and you're a part of this, but also it creates engagement, and it allows members to be more connected and more involved in the platform going forward. So it's more of a sustainability feature. And another one of those bounties is the Utrum resident bounty. And so when someone has been a member for 3 months, then they're put into a pool that's sort of a lottery, and the system chooses the winner, and then they also win 5% of that month's revenue. So there's a couple cool ways that we're doing that, and just sharing revenue, of course, rewards and things like that back to the community, because it really is, as we talked about on the website and in the white paper, it's really a freemium model with some premium features that have percentages that reward back to the community itself. Nice.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. Well, what's it like working with Komodo now? You're getting an asset on an asset chain.
Yeah,
it's going to be the OOT token.
Yeah.
What's it been like working with Komodo? Why did you choose Komodo?
Great question. Komodo seems like, honestly, it seems like the most obvious choice. I know Sri, when he really conceived the idea of Utrum, it began in Slack, and it was in the Komodo Slack. And so he was talking to a couple guys. They came up with this idea, and he was seeing the same problem that we've been talking about. And the idea was sort of born, you know. And he ran it past JL777, who's the lead developer at Komodo, and he loved it. And he said, "Hey, I'll create a channel for you in Slack, in our Komodo Slack. I'll create a little channel for Utrum." And so that was created. Obviously, Sri was in there. Other people started jumping in, and Sri and two other gentlemen. So Chris and Gherkin is who Sri began speaking with, and the three of them really conceived kind of how the project would be put together and started designing the initial part of that project. So yeah, so that's how it kicked off. And I kind of forgot the question. Why did so that's how it started out. So it was kind of the obvious choice, obviously, to use Komodo platform because it's really where it was born. JL777 was really behind it. He was a big supporter from the beginning. But beyond that, you know, Komodo platform is, if you kind of put it up in the spectrum with some of the other platforms, like let's say Ethereum, it presents everything that we're about. It's everything that Utrum's about. You know, it's about privacy, it's about security, it's about decentralization, and this is coming from someone who doesn't hate Ethereum. My handle on Twitter is ETHadvisor. Like, I started as an Ethereum guy, so I still love Ethereum, but it is more so centralized. You know, the way that code is created, if you're creating smart contracts, everything's according to rules that are created from a centralized place. Everything's on one blockchain, and so it kind of has that more centralized feel. Even the ICOs are run from centralized platforms. They're done on websites, and they're easily hacked, and so that was kind of the obvious not choice when we're talking, let's create a platform to help this problem that's very decentralized and very secure. So what's cool is by doing that, it was a very simple, straightforward process of setting up, using their Komodo's little package for creating a blockchain. It's really kind of plug and play, and you can just create your own blockchain. It's based off the same ZK Snark's privacy protocols, and it's just basically a fresh blockchain that you start out, you get your asset coin, and then if you set up a node, you can do the next part, which is utilizing the DPOW, which is
the delegated proof of work.
Yes, and then you're essentially snapshotting your blockchain to
very secure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was, exactly. It creates that security. So so that process was super simple. I mean, it's something that's done in a day, and you're ready to roll. And then it's just a matter of making sure that node is doing its job, which it is. So our blockchain is participating in DPOW. Every asset blockchain on the Komodo that you create off of Komodo doesn't have to necessarily use DPOW, but Utrum does, and we participate in that part of it. So so it was definitely the obvious choice, and working with them is just a breeze. They're super cool team. One of my close friends is their social media guy. I've talked to a couple of the marketing team there, and just great guys. So sort of on that same topic, you'll see on our team page down below the team and the ambassador and whatnot, we also have a new section called investors. And recently, back in April, JL777, who heads up SuperNet, which is the investment, I guess you could call it an index or of sorts, purchased 1% of the total supply of E tokens in advance as an early investor, private investor. So that was super exciting, very cool, and just another really loud support, from Komodo saying, we love what you guys are doing. We're behind you and we're supporting you. So we're feeling the love. And of course, all of us on the team love Komodo and have been involved with Komodo for quite some time. So that's how I got into the team. That's how I ran into Sri as I was doing work with Komodo. I did some articles for them, and he reached out to me, and so it's sort of the centerpiece of it all, I guess.
Wow. this has turned out to be such a great chat. We're gonna end up ending it soon. I mean, we didn't even talk about like comparing things and whatever, but I,
Yeah.
I first, of course, would like to talk about the token sale.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we should know specifically? Anything you want us to know?
Yeah, I mean everything's it's pretty straightforward. It's you know, as you can see on the website there, it starts May 10 for the pre-sale, and KMD holders do get a 30% bonus. So that's a nice perk. But there are other ways to buy the UT tokens during the crowd sale, and those coins are listed there, of course, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, Zcash, Dash, and Litecoin, and of course Komodo. So that's going to be done using Atomic Swap. So if anybody is unfamiliar with that, which most people are because it hasn't been done yet, May 1st is the first one. Hopefully a lot of people will learn from that process and will feel more comfortable come May 10. And but yeah, we have some videos right there actually where you're scrolling on how to download and get the Agama wallet and Barter Decks set up.
Oh, right here, yeah.
And so that's a good first step for anybody wanting to participate, is to just follow those videos. There are instruction videos for both of those, and go through the steps and just get familiarized with the process. Maybe get barter decks rolling and play around with atomic swaps so they get an idea of how that works. Because it is different than most ICOs. You know, it's wallet to wallet. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a very cool sale, and a lot of people are going to really, I think, enjoy the process of having no intermediaries and just having that nice, secure, just straight to wallet, and they get their tokens immediately. Kind of. And then I guess the other details are token holders. You know, anyone who participates in the DICO will also have their first year of membership for premium features on Utrum. When the premium features are released, they're going to get that for free for a year.
Nice.
And yeah, most of the platform is freemium, but for the premium features, that's kind of a nice perk.
Okay.
And then also a 5% APR for anyone who holds UT tokens in their wallet for 8 weeks or longer. And that's projected that is going to last for the first 5 years at least of the platform's life, so for the project's life, and possibly beyond that. You know, that's something to be decided later. I guess there's a white list to join. They can join the Telegram, and
So you have to join the whitelist to participate in this sale on May 10th, and then do you have to join the whitelist for it at all for the May 20th one or not?
For the May 20th, I don't think that's necessary, but if it were me, I would do it anyway. Just just because you definitely want to make sure you have a place in line. I think DICOs are going to, and maybe this is getting a little too into projecting the future of where we're headed with ICOs, but I do think that this is the future of ICOs, and it's gonna start rocking pretty hard. And we don't want to have. I guess nobody wants to get left out. However, the idea of DICO does kind of mitigate a lot of that. You know, it mitigates a lot of the whale activity as well. So that's for another conversation.
Is it good? Is it going to be through a DApp, or is it going to be direct through the barter decks itself? Do you know?
Great. There is going to be a DApp created for it, which is it's very specific to each project. So it's going to be it's going to be a DApp that's similar to barter decks, and that's why I think, you know, playing around with barter decks is a good idea. Just kind of get familiarized with how they work. But yeah, it's
so we should put our email in so that we would get an announcement when it's ready to come to the utrum.io website to download that DApp. Is that how that would work?
I believe the DApp, I believe that's going to be provided through Komodo. But we'll let everybody know when that time comes. We're working closely with the Komodo team to make sure we nail down that process, whether we're going to have the link on our side or theirs, but I believe it's going to be through the Komodo website's links.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. I really appreciate the time you've taken to spend with me talking about this. I wish you all the best in this initial phase of Utrum. And then, of course, going forward, all the best. I hope this works out quite well for everyone involved. And anytime that we could chat again would be lovely. If there's any last thing you want to say, please share now.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. I just really appreciate you taking the time. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. And yeah, I feel very grateful to include us in what you're doing and letting us be a part of the conversation. Very cool.
Wonderful. Excellent, John. Nice to talk to you. And bye,
Likewise.
everyone. Yeah. See you next time and take care. Enjoy that DICO action. All right. Bye, everyone.